Hey everyone, welcome back to the $500 a day 1-3 challenge. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want to see more of this content, hit the subscribe, and we'll bring you some more stuff. Today we're off to Thunder Valley Casino, just outside of Sacramento. It is a large Indian casino. It doesn't have to follow the same rules as other casinos in the state of California, since it makes its own rules. So they are allowed to have indoor gaming. They do take a pretty good care of making sure that the card room is clean and sanitary. Because you have to kind of walk through part of the casino floor to get to it, and that is not always clean and sanitary. A lot of people there smoking, and it's sometimes crowded. Anyway, if you haven't been there before, I recommend coming into the back parking lot. It is a short elevator ride down to the card room. If you come in the front door, you can be walking for a long time to get there. The action is pretty good here. Sometimes they seem like they're a little bit understaffed and they can't spread a game. I have been here on a day where I saw over 40 names on a 1-3 list and no dealer in sight to start a game. And I mean, the other lists were like 20 on the 2-5 game. And then some of the smaller games had lists 20 to 30 names long. So it's hit or miss on whether you're going to run into this issue. I called ahead, put my name up on the list, and I know I'm going to be near the top when I enter. So anyway, we're just pulling in here, looking forward to continuing the streak, hoping to get that $500 win, and excited to see what the future has for me. We buy into a game for $300. This is a new table. I know some of the players on here, a lot of solid players. So the action to start off was really slow. I had some big hands, and I try to maximize them to my best advantage. For example, here I have ace queen. Flop comes queen high, 1 heart. The person I'm up against will always call light on the flop, no matter what it is. They just want to see you fire a second barrel. So I make a standard continuation bet. They call, turn card comes. It's a 6 of diamonds. I really don't care for this. It puts up a lot of possible draws. He only has like 60 in his stack, so I just go ahead and shove all in. If he wants to beat me on the river, he's going to have to put all those chips in to do it. On this hand, I pick up aces. It's always wonderful when you look down and find aces. I open up for 13, and I get the same caller to my left. I'm really hoping he hits something this time. Flop comes all little cards. I go ahead and make a standard continuation bet, $15. As I said, he likes to call on flops no matter what he has. This time I'm hoping he has something, so he calls the 15. Turn card comes is 8. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just trying to extract as much value as I can. So I bet again for 20, and he just lets it go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I did have some camera issues at the tables. I overfilled my storage capacity. I've been doing a lot of editing on the vlogs, and you got to get rid of that stuff, otherwise you can't film more stuff. So a couple of key hands did not get taken care of. So we're going to try to do this a old-fashioned way, and I'm just going to talk you through some of the hands. One of the things I have to say about Thunder Valley first is that one of the things I do not like about it is that their poker cards have very small pips. So you look up in those little corners, and you know, whatever it is, whether it's a 5, a king, an ace, whatever, is a little bit smaller than I'm used to. And being an older guy, my eyes aren't as sharp as they should be. And sometimes I misread my hands. So on this particular case, I thought I was opening with 9-8 suited for a raise to 15. And I get 2 callers. And the flop comes 9, 9, 7. Just checking my notes here. 9 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 7 of clubs. So pretty good. So I go ahead and bet out 20, and I get both players call. The turn card comes is a 6 of spades. It's first player checks to me. I bet out. I believe I bet 40. As I don't have my video, I can't really remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I bet out 40. And then the next player raises to 85, putting in basically a min raise. And then the big blind calls the 85. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on here? I'm pretty sure that the caller is more likely to have a lone 9, but what does the min raiser have? And I'm thinking possibly a straight, possibly pocket 7s, possibly pocket 6s. Anyway, for $45, I'm going to see a river. So I go ahead and call for the 45. And the river card comes as a 2 of spades, complete blank. Under the gun checks it, I check it, and then the player behind me bets 65. So the pot's really huge at this time. The first player calls, and I'm going, I know I'm beat here like 99 times out of 100, but I'm a little stuck, and I would hate to fold a winner for $65. So I go ahead and put it in, and sure enough, he rolls over pocket 7s. The other player flashes a 9 and tosses it in the muck, and just another cold deck situation. What got me aggravated was when I looked back at my hand, I didn't have 9-8 suited. I had like the 9 of spades and the 8 of clubs. And I would have never have opened for a raise knowing that I wasn't suited. So I'll take the blame of playing the hand the way I played it, but I was very frustrated that I misread my hand in the first place to get me in that trouble. All right, here's a hand I am totally ashamed of, but I thought it was an interesting attempt. Player opens for 15 under the gun. Another player calls. I'm on the button in position, and I got like 4-3 of hearts, looking for a small flop. The flop comes king 10-8. Okay, 2 spades, no hearts, and the undergun player leads at it for 15, and the next player, who is a passive player, makes like a crying call for 15. And at this point, I decided, all right, let's run a bluff. So I flatted with 4 high and looking for a scare card to come on the turn or the river, and I was planning on taking it away. So I think hands that might be in my range at this point are hands like Queen Jack. You know, a King 10-8 board, Queen Jack looks pretty good. Could also be like a Jack 9, and of course it could be all the combos for a flush draw. The turn card comes is a Ace of Diamonds, I believe. And so it completes the straight draw. Undergun player leads out again, this time for 40. And I decided this would be a good time to represent Queen Jack. So I go ahead and raise to 120. And the undergun player thinks for a while, and puts in the call. The river card comes, makes the flush. And now he donk leads into me. And I really hate that donk lead of his, because now it takes my shove and degrades it by the amount he already put in. So I didn't have a lot of chips. I didn't have enough to push him off, but I really felt that he was weak enough. And I haven't made any moves on any pots today, and I think my table image was strong enough that I was going to give it a shot. So I go ahead and shove in, and he only needs to call off like $100 more. And I really wish I could have shoved for like 300 more. But his donk lead took that away. Looking back on it, I figure after his donk lead, maybe I have to fold the hand. He donk leads for like $50 into the pot. No, I think it was 65. Anyway, I really hate folding there, because I'm sure that my image was maybe strong enough to carry me through, and the pot was like already bloated quite a bit. So I go ahead and shove, and he goes into the tank, and I mean into the tank. He was there for a long time. He was going, oh man, the straight's there, and the flush is there, and he looks like he's gonna muck it, then he starts counting out chips, and then he looks like he's gonna muck it again, and finally he just grabs a handful and goes, I call, and he throws them out, and in front of him, slams them down. And I go, yeah, you're good. And he rolls over ace 10, so he had aces up. I think if my stack was, bigger, as it should have been at the time when I tried to make such a stupid play, I would have got away with it, because he was in the tank for a long time, and he was definitely under stress, and he told me later that it was a tough situation for him to be in. So anyway, I blew off my stack trying to run a bluff with 4-3. I could beat nut low, or actually I would have tied nut low, because I would have beat nut low. I would have had a 4 high. No, we would have been playing the board. Anyway, don't get something stuck in your mind like you're going to make a play on someone no matter what the board comes, because it's going to get you in trouble. So after I blew off my stack, I reloaded, and then the ace-queen hand happened. Oh boy. All right, so after I went busted, I rebought, and we played a round or two, and then this hand came up. I was in the small blind. I look down, I have ace-queen offsuit. Person opens under the gun for 15, and we get like 3 calls for the 15. And now that I'm a little stuck and hot, I decided this would be a good place for a squeeze. I like squeezing with ace-queen offsuit, just because it's not a hand that plays well multi-way. So I'm trying to get down to 1 player or no players. And the original opener comes along for the 75. The next player, he had a shortest stack. I guess he started with like $95 on this hand. And he thinks for a while, and then just shoves all in. And I'm going, well, that's not good. And then the next player goes, oh yeah, $100, no problem, you know, and they go ahead and call for the 95. And this pot's getting very bloated. So it comes back around to me, and the only thing I can do is complete for the 20, and everyone calls, and we're going to see a flop. In my mind at this time, since I didn't get anyone putting in the 4-bet, I'm thinking that their ranges consist of like ace, king, ace, queen hands for the under the gun opener. But more than likely, I think they might have something like jacks or tens in that spot, maybe even a king, queen suited. So when I already committed to myself that any kind of flop that looks decent, even the ones that don't look decent, I figured both my overcards were good. So if, for example, someone had jacks and I shove, I'll have like 22% equity in the pot, and that my hand, I think, was okay there. And if I can get someone to fold something like a ace queen for a tie, or maybe an ace king, and as again I said, I was a little stuck. So flop comes 9 high. I think I just if I'm gonna play for this pot, I'm just gonna play for all my chips. Maybe a guy will fold a hand like pocket tens. Maybe he will fold a hand like ace queen. Maybe he just has like a flush draw with a king queen of diamonds type of hand. So I shove and I get insta called, and when I get called this quick, I figured he has like the flush draw, big flush draw cards, but in my mind I was thinking he had jacks, tens, and then when we start to run him out, he told me he had kings. I was a little surprised to hear that. Obviously, I cannot beat kings. I end up with a pair of queens. So after reloading again, I've been playing. I decided to open up with king 10 here from cutoff. The big blind defends, and when it's checked to me, I go ahead and make a standard bet of $15, continuing with my full range. And he puts in a small check raise here. He raises to 35. I'm not going anywhere. Turn card comes, changes nothing. And now he just shoves all in for $61. I really think this feels funny the way he played this hand, so I'm calling down, and he shows a pair of nines. So very, very interesting way of playing the hand. We're playing a little short-handed at this time, and I've been opening and taking down small pots. This particular one, I have Jack 10, open for a raise and do a continuation bet. Some of the players are being a little passively, and I think they're starting to get a little tired of my aggressiveness here. So I expect them to play back at me shortly. Well, this is another hand that I didn't catch on video. Someone limps for 3. I raise to 15 with ace king. Big blind calls, limper folds, surprisingly. The flop comes king 5 deuce rainbow, and the big blind checks. I make a standard continuation bet, $15. Big blind calls. The turn card comes is an offsuit 3, and the big blind now leads into me for $45, which was kind of surprising, but it's possible he took one off with a, ace 4-ish hand. I really think he's more on the bluffy area of this, trying to see if I really have a king. So I go ahead and make the call. River card comes, pairs the deuces, and now that the deuces are paired, I go, if he had a hand like 5-3, maybe he's counterfeited, and maybe he's, done with the hand, but he leads out again, this time for 90. I really can't go anywhere. I think he's more on the bluffy side of this, so I go ahead and put in the call, and he just says, "You're good." And I flash a king, and he throws his hand away. All right, this is another hand that wasn't captured on the video. I open under the gun with king jack of spades to 20, and I get 3 callers, a person directly behind me, one on the button, and the big blind. Flop comes jack of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 4 of clubs. Big blind checks to me. I bet 40. The person directly behind me makes it 150. It's folded around to me, and I'm thinking here, what hands would he be doing this with? Sets? I don't think so. I don't think he would play it that fast. If he had a set, the only one out there would be pocket 4s. I think with 9s or jacks, I have jacks blocked for one thing, but if he had 9s, I think he would have flat called there and had me continue to lead. Granted, there is a flush draw out there, and he might be scared of that, but I really don't think he has that kind of hand. Other hands that would beat me, jack 9. I have the jacks blocked, so I limit that. It would have to be a jack 9 suited, so that leaves you a jack of diamonds, jacks of hearts. So there's 2 combos there. Ace jack, possibly. He might have ace jack. But from what I've seen of this player, I'm thinking he has a flush draw. Maybe some sort of combo flush draw, but a flush draw. And I think with my king jack, and I think I'm good here, like all the time, right here. And I think that he is definitely trying to blow me off something with a combo draw or flush draw. And I don't like when people do that, so I like to play back at him. So when he raises to 150 and it's folded back around to me, I go ahead and make the shove and put them all in. He has about an additional $170, $180 behind. He like snap calls. I mean, I think I said all in, and he was like there calling. So I'm just going, wow. I turned to him and I said, "You must have a really good hand to call that fast." And so I'm thinking, okay, maybe he did flop 2 pair. Maybe he does have pocket 4s, but I was going to call off anything he bet on the turn, especially if it wasn't a club. So I go, I might as well go ahead and put it in now. So anyway, the run out comes with a queen of hearts and then a pair of the 4 on the river. And I roll over my king jack, and he just mucks his hand. So I think my read was correct. It was a big pot near the end of the day. It got me close to even. As I said, it was a wild ride. I had some crazy hands, a little cold deck here and there, and then of course I had a really stupid attempt at a bluff, and I'm sure you all agree that was not a wise choice. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you soon. New episode coming out shortly.